All right. Let's see. Hey, Joel, how's it going? Can you hear me okay?
I can, Vic. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Awesome. Well, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to virtually meet you as well. I play a lot of bank pool. I've been playing bank pool forever. Feels like my mentor back home, he's like 20 years older than me, and he would like show me how to do like four railers and stuff, so he really taught me the game.
Where was back home?
Back in the DC area,
Okay.
Northern Virginia.
Gotcha. Is your mentor still with us?
Yeah, so far. Yeah. The last time I saw him like a couple months ago, Sean and I had to go home. So we got to see him for a little bit, but he got there kind of late. So we had to go and didn't get to talk to him too much. But we did get to see him for a little bit. So that was cool. I mean, he was wild. He would like call like 5 and 6 railers and shoot them one handed. It was dumb. I'm like, what?
Wow.
It was sick. I was just like, who are you?
So can you tell me a little bit about the table they're playing on tonight? Is that
Yeah,
your
this
and
is my
Sean's home
table.
table?
Actually, yeah. Sean got rid of his table, so this is my table. But yeah, it's a Gold Crown 3 with 4 3/8 shim pockets. And it's got Simonis 860 on it.
Nice. Did you guys set it up, or did you have like Rich Geiler or someone come in and do it?
Dom did it. Clean Slate Pool Tables. Dom
Okay.
McHenry.
Nice. I noticed that's one of your sponsors, right?
Yeah. Well, Sean and him are best friends, so it's like they
That's what
always
it's all.
like lift each other up.
That's what it's all about. Pool's a tough world. It's all making those connections and keeping each other afloat.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm super excited. Yeah. So I'm gonna like share this on our Facebook page. So like, as people are, watching or whatever, they're gonna get started. But like I'm gonna share the link and do all that stuff. So I might be a little bit quiet while I'm doing that. But I just wanted to like get that out there. But I'm super excited. I played Sean yesterday, 6 racks of banks, and we ended up tied 3-3. So
Wow. So potentially you'll be playing the winner.
we'll see, maybe. But I will be playing in the Banks tournament at Ox though, so that'll be fun. I'm the only
Okay.
girl. I'm excited.
It's pretty cool. I've played a lot of those up in Washington. I've missed a couple, unfortunately, due to conflicting dates. And I've seen a couple women play. I know that I bought Molly Oliver in for one of the tournaments.
Oh,
She was
nice.
kind of she was on the fence because she's just not a regular bank pool player. And I'm like, why don't you just get in and play? That's how it all kind of starts.
Right.
So it's a blessing to see more women playing the game.
Yeah, I love it. I always encourage my, like my female friends. I'm like, do it. They're just like, why? It's so scary. But then they
Yeah,
get in
so
there and they love it, and I'm like, see, it's not that bad.
it's a great game. I mean, it can be so frustrating at times, but I feel like it's super rewarding. I mean, you start running like 2 or 3 banks in a row and you get that rhythm going, and it feels great.
Yeah, agree. Let me see. I just got a text from Sean. They said also they might be playing 2 sets.
Gotcha.
If it goes by fast. So they're going to start the lag here in a second.
Cool. And we're just keeping track of ball count, and then they're going to keep
They're
track
gonna
of game count.
they're keeping the track of the ball count here, and then in the chat we're gonna like add like keep track of the race.
Cool.
But it's race to 3, so it should be easy.
Yeah.
Um, but Sean's going to 6, and Marcello is going to 5.
Gotcha. And I believe Marcello has a 9-foot table at home too, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
So not foreign to playing on the big table.
Nope.
Wow. Wow, Sean lagging from so close to the rail. That was wild. He like took an angle.
Yeah, he does that. It's very interesting.
Well, it looks like he takes down the lag. When you're breaking bank pool, do you have a specific strategy?
No, I just bust them as hard as I can because I just want to make a ball so I can get on, my next ball.
It's amazing. I feel like when I break bank pool, a lot of times I make a ball, even though I'm not using a template rack. And
Uh-huh.
then when I'm playing 9-balls, sometimes I dry break, and I'm like, "What the heck is going on?"
Right.
I don't know if I
Exactly.
like hit it with a different stroke when I'm banking bank pool, or
Yeah.
I saw when you guys were doing some of your previous matches, you were using template racks, and then it looks like they're using the hard rack today.
Yes. Looks like that's how you wanted to do that one. I don't know. We've been playing with template racks. I don't know. I guess they just decided to do it that way.
Most all competitive bank pool I've played has been a hard rack, but I
Okay.
like I like playing with a template rack also because then you get to work on, your 9-ball break at the same time. So you're kind of crossing over between the two games.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I've not played very much. I play, just for funsies, and I don't know. It's always just been a game that I played, but I haven't really competed very much. I played one time in like the bank pool tournament. I think maybe Jesse Bergman ran that one, and it was I was very short lived. It was also on a 7-footer, and I'm not used to that. I've only ever really like banked a lot on the nines. So when you're mostly on nines and going to the sevens, a little bit
Might be
difficult.
seeing cross-side with the 2 here, 1 rail.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, wrong marker.
Oh
My
yeah, you need the
squiggly
straight
line.
line one.
Yeah. And Sean made a ball on the break, so we'll be seeing that spotted after his first inning.
Yeah.
For those of you not familiar with the spot, Sean is playing for 6 balls. So say for instance he came with a monster break and made 4 balls on the break. That means there's only 5 balls available on the table. So in that situation, he would run all the balls available, and then all 4 of those balls that he made on the break would spot at the same time. So it doesn't happen very often, but it's possible, especially when you're spotting balls like this.
Mm-hmm.
So Sean on the board with a nice cross side, looking for potentially a straight back on that 6th ball right
Yeah.
underneath him. Do you like to just cut this, or do you like to spin and cut it?
I try to avoid spin as a
Gotcha.
general matter, but I also shoot very hard as well. So like I don't float the ball in so much. I like really slam it. And it controls variables for me that like I feel like, making sure that I understand the line that it's going to come off the rail. For me, that's
Yeah.
kind of what I look at.
I think Sean
Um,
has to be careful here because when you saw Marcello warming up, he's warming up with a lot of these just like cookie cutter, one rail, cross
mhm.
side, cross corner banks. A lot of people call this like the patch, where if you leave someone and they have balls that go here, you might see like a run of 3
Oh
because
yeah.
they're just playing like a lot of just kind of simple draw shots.
Yep.
So looks like he's sizing up whether he's going to play the 9 or the 5. It's hard to tell if that 2 hinders the 9 or not. Looks like he has a full ball.
Yeah.
Uh,
There it is.
Marcello on the board.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of like a matter of preference. I like the 2 better if he can see it, but we'll see. A lot of people like to shorten those banks up, like the 5, and just
Mm-hmm.
shut down that angle.
Mario's on the 5.
Hmm.
And then maybe the 3 here. Yep.
This one he has to really close down that angle with inside. I don't think he's going to cross this. I think he's going to hit this just one rail to the side, but he's going to play
Yeah.
that with like that extreme kind of low left ball and just get that cue ball out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've ever watched the video from Tom Worth. He really shows a great way how to execute this shot.
Oh, no.
I'll have to send you the link.
Yeah, looks like
So,
you went wide on that one.
yeah, he made an extra ball on the side, so one coming up. Score should be 2-1 in favor of Marcello. And unfortunately, he left Sean in a very similar situation where, there's
Mm-hmm.
just those available cross-side banks. I think this is indicative of just people playing, with their comfortability and playing aggressive, kind of like two boxers stepping up and just duking it out. Whereas
Yeah.
once you start getting into like the higher level of bank pool, especially with people that know that they can run, 5 and outs pretty easily, they'll really think about which ball they're going to shoot based upon the leave. Just because they're going to concentrate so much on leaving their opponent long or taking away the bottom of the ball by leaving them on the rail. Could
Mm-hmm.
easily see Sean crossing this again. I know he likes to play this with that inside, kind of let his cue ball float up table. No, he's playing low.
Yeah, I think he's gonna draw it back for the two.
Hmm.
Maybe. No.
Yeah, it's interesting how sometimes you'll play a cross side bank that leaves you shape on up and down, and you're kind of like working the table back and forth, a short bank to a long bank, a short bank to a long bank, depending on how your cue ball is working.
Yeah.
Does this two go comfortably by the six? Yeah, it looks like
I
Marcello
think it
called it
does,
there.
yeah.
And so you said that you aren't spinning this ball. You are just looking at that exact cut and hitting it firm.
Yeah, like center ball, that's how I
Yeah,
do them usually.
gotcha.
And the
So
center ball actually works really well for me on the short cross corner, like bank as well. I used to put
great.
inside English on it a lot, but center ball's been doing me solid for a while now, so I'm kind of keeping
It's
with
pre-
that.
it's pretty consistent. You don't have to worry so much about adjusting when you know that you're hitting the ball the same way every time. That was a great bank by Marcello. He just finessed that ball right in the hole.
Mm-hmm. But
Oh, interesting that he went from like a much softer bank on the last shot to a super firm ball there. I thought he was going to just finesse that one as well.
yeah,
But he has the lead at 3-1, and keep in mind that Sean is going to 6, so and it seems like a trend here. Sean stepping up to these cross sides.
yeah. Yeah, he once he gets into a groove, like him, sometimes he starts a little bit cold, but once he gets into a groove, I've seen him run 3, 4, 5. So
It does not surprise me at all.
yeah.
Well, there's one
Yeah. Looks like the
very
money.
very similar angle here.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he's just going to back this up a hair to play the
Boom.
place through the ball. That was
Yeah.
sweet. Looks like he has a great angle on the 6.
Yep. Oof. Just missed it. I left the 1, 2.
Yeah. So should get a score update here.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty natural. Looks like he's just going to draw into the rail. Ideally leaving himself a shot on the 5 next.
Yeah.
Top left. I wonder if he's going to try and open this up with draw right so he can close down that angle a little bit. Decides not to do
Excellent.
too much with the cue ball, just tries to cinch it.
Yeah. I think he's got a great shot on the one here.
Yeah, I mean, this is
Pretty standard.
essentially essentially a spot shot. It's, on that similar line.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I feel like sometimes a spot shot just goes in repeatedly, and then other times just struggle us. Just won't
Hmm.
won't be able to make one.
I agree.
It's one of the first shots I practiced
Well,
when I was learning the game, because I saw how often it comes up with balls either being pocketed in the wrong pocket or people scratching, and I was just like, man, that's kind of like learning a free throw in basketball. It's just bound to happen.
hmm. Yeah, Sean always tries to stick my cue ball on the rail when he spots a single ball like that, but I've fired it in on him before, so he's just like leery of that now.
So the score says 3-3, and there are 4 balls on the table. Do you
Yeah,
know?
because I think he spotted one already, but the score is counting the spotted ball, right? So like he started technically at -1,
Yeah.
and he made that ball. But
Hmm.
like theoretically, you would not count that ball. That's why his
Yeah.
ball count is one higher than it would be. That's why it goes to 10.
So instead of him starting the match with a quarter on the rail, showing that he owes 1, and then digitally saying -1, instead, Sean is just going to race to 6 in his score column.
Correct.
Gotcha. Yeah, a little interesting way to do it, because there isn't those capabilities kind of like in one pocket or bank pool where you're going to have your game count and your ball count.
Yeah.
I would imagine that they'll have that sooner than later. Sean with nice pace, looking to just open it up a hair.
Hmm. Oh,
Came
he
up,
didn't get it. Looks like.
yeah, came up just short. So either twisted a hair more next time, or potentially he might have been able to play a little bit slower, but
Hmm.
I don't know if that would have got the job done. Marcello trying to beat the double kiss here, just playing the cross to the top right.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Nice touch. Watch out, cue
Well, he
ball.
got it. He's good.
And leaves himself a nice bank on the one, just underneath him. Yeah, it's amazing. I've played games of bank pool that were over in 5 minutes, and I played games of bank pool that were over like in an hour and a half.
Hmm. Yeah.
Just never
Oh,
know.
no, he didn't get it. All right. So Marcello got 4 now, huh?
Yep. So Marcello needs 1 for the win, and Sean needs them all.
Yep.
So this is an interesting situation. When I first started playing, if I was in Marcello's situation, I would never make that 1 ball. I would just leave it there because I knew it was like a safety valve, knowing that Sean needs it to win.
Hmm.
And then I started doing a little bit more research, and I actually read
Oh,
about a
yeah.
completely different strategy. Someone was saying it was actually Freddie the Beard, who's a famous bank pool player.
Yeah.
He mentioned that by Marcello not making that 1 ball and bringing it into play,
Uh-huh.
he's actually allowing Sean to neutralize Marcello's lead,
Yeah.
because instead of Sean having to balance defense on all 3 of those balls that were on the table, now
Right.
he really only has to balance 2 balls.
Yeah.
So I think train of
Oh,
thought, the other train of thought was that Marcello knew that even if Sean got hot there and made that 6 ball, that Sean is going to have to deal with the 1, which means
right.
chances are Marcello's going to end up with the first shot on it,
Right.
because they're playing heads up, so they're not playing with ring game rules, so no kicks.
Right.
So essentially there is no way to legally get a bank on the 1.
Hmm.
What do you do in this type of situation when you're playing Sean?
Me, I would three rail this one to the side pocket on the 6 here, if I can.
So when you're saying three rails, you're talking about crossing it
Yep.
and playing it
Yep.
three rail, something like this.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I love that shot.
I know, right?
I'm
My
not a
favorite shot is the long table three railer in the side pocket, honestly.
okay, but the back door.
Oh, is that what it's called? I don't
I was just saying, like
know.
you'd be talking about something like three rails, like that one.
Kind of, but it actually hits the top rail, and it's when it's closer. When it's closer, actually, like when it's like if the 6 ball were like maybe like
Yeah,
half a diamond away from the
yeah,
rail, like
more like
that.
over.
Yeah,
Yeah, right
yeah. If it
here.
was like over there, then it would like that like
So,
long table one because it'll go either to the corner if you hit it on the lower part of that rail, or if you hit it more in the middle, then it usually will go to the side. Pretty easy.
yeah, I learned that shot by missing the rail in the corner playing one pocket.
Oh, okay.
So I kept on trying to swing for three rails in the corner, three rails in the corner, and I'm coming up short. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's how you play the three in the side.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, my mentor taught
nice.
me that three railer. Okay, so that's Marcello's got that, right? So that's it.
Yep.
One, he's up
Yep.
one game. Yeah, there's resetting the scoreboard. So
Yeah.
now I'll just annotate it in the chat.
Nice. And
Marcello 1 v Sean 0.
we could see a quarter kind of right here on Marcello's side. So they are using coins to
Yeah,
mark who's up as far as game count. Do you know if
perfect.
they're playing alternating breaks or winter breaks?
I do not know. Um,
We won't be able to find out on this game, but let's keep an eye on it.
Marcello's going to grab his phone.
Mm.
Yeah, I got Sean on the phone here, so I'm asking him if he's got alternate break or winter break.
Did I see a post that you guys made talking about your future pool room?
Oh yeah, that's us. We're trying to open it.
Okay.
Right. We're reviewing real estate. Our real estate agent sent us I don't know, about like 8 properties to take a look at. So we are doing that.
And are we talking about in the Tacoma area or somewhere else?
Yeah, we're hoping for Tacoma. Realistically, it's wherever we can get a spot. You know what I'm saying? Like a
Gotcha.
spot that works, but we want to keep it in the Tacoma area, preferably South Tacoma area. It just depends on, there's just a lot of spaces that are like opening up, and like, there's not a lot of businesses that have high square footage requirements these days. So, we're hopeful that we can find something that works for what we want. We're really trying to deliver a high end pool hall to this area that, doesn't really cater to the bar scene so much. Um, and we're looking at like 20 plus tables right now.
That's awesome.
All 9
Uh,
footers though. We're not messing around. This is like real pool here.
not gonna have a single box.
Not one. Not
Wow.
a single one. I will have a 9 foot action table, like probably with tighter pockets. I'll probably have like 2 that have like WNT tight 4 inch.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Gold Crown 7 is what we're looking at for that.
I was blessed. I worked for AccuStats as a cameraman in St. Augustine at the International Open this year,
Oh,
and
nice.
Omega in the Omega room, they brought in 2 of the 4-inch diamonds from the U.S. Open. So
Oh,
they were the
nice.
World Nine Ball Tour with the shark gray cloth, and I had never played
Mhm.
on a diamond with 4-inch pockets, and I was like, wow, this is quite a treat. So
Nice.
played some one pocket and some banks. It's funny that you mentioned like a real pool hall in Tacoma, because the first Calcutta I ever went to was actually at City Lights, which became Malarkey's later on.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've heard of that place. Yeah, everybody talks about, like you should go to the place in Malarkey's was at. It's like, sorry, don't want a methadone clinic next door to my pool room. Thank you.
So Marcello making one on the break. We'll see that
Yeah.
come up on the spot after his inning. Potentially a cross side here on the 4, which was, I believe, Sean's opening shot in the last rack. Just has to decide if he wants to choose the natural angle on this or if he's going to try and distort that with English by either opening up or closing it down, depending on what he wants to do with his cue ball.
Mm-hmm.
I learned how to play this ball with the natural,
Ooh.
whereas my
Whoa.
good
Oh no.
friend Summerfield Habner, he always played that with inside English. So from where
Wow.
Marcello was playing, Summerfield was always playing that with left to really
Interesting.
open up that ball, and he just felt like that was his sweet spot.
Nice.
So Marcello -1, so that
Yes.
equalizes that spot. So they're essentially both going to 6 now.
Yep.
So they are playing cue ball in the kitchen. I'm not sure if they're playing like derby rules where the object ball has to be either completely out of the kitchen or if they're playing base of the ball. That's usually something that I discuss before I start my match.
Yeah, well, when I played with Sean earlier today, we had a little warm up session before this matchup, and he said he plays it completely out.
Gotcha. That's the way I prefer to play it. I just feel like there's no room for negotiation there. It's either in or it's out.
Exactly.
Okay, so hold on a second. 3, 5, 7 on the table. So Marcello fouled, but
He didn't have one to spot.
yeah, but there was one made on the break, and
So they should have
Sean's only,
spotted it.
yeah. So now, depending on which rules you're playing there, so that's a slept ball. So generally, what would happen is that slept ball wouldn't be spotted until both players have had an inning to kind of like remember it. So it should have came up after Marcello's inning. It was found out on Sean's inning. So then what I would usually do is I would just hand the ball to Marcello, have him shoot this inning that he's approaching right now, and then he would spot it up at the end of that inning. It's kind of hard to explain like verbally, but it makes sense because that way there's no like intentionally I'm gonna not spot the ball or you saw that it was should have been spotted and then you just kind of slept it on purpose for like shape. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. They might not notice that they didn't spot it.
Yeah,
Also.
it. Yeah, I don't think there was any intentions behind it. It's just another one of those things in one pocket or bank pool that happens frequently because the score is a huge part of the game. So deciding how you're going to play a potentially slept ball. So as far as score goes, we know that
Well,
Marcello
Sean
has,
says he's got one there. So is
yeah,
that the one that he got down or no?
he made a good ball, and Marcello
Okay.
just made a good ball.
Okay.
So 3, 7, and
He
now
owes
Marcello
one
is
and he should spot the break ball, right?
he just spotted his ball that he owed.
Mm-hmm. I think Sean just called him on the break ball.
So now both players should have one with this scoring that we're doing, right?
Didn't Marcello only make one or did he make two? Because if he only made one, he shouldn't have one
Okay,
because
so
he was -1. So we're at
so
0 for Marcello. There should be a total of 10 between the rack of number of balls and the score.
God, so Sean, so Marcello when he scratched, he put up a coin to signify that he owed a ball.
Yeah, because his race is only to 5 and there's no way to do negative scoring on this
Yeah,
one.
gotcha.
But they did say that they're coming out with bank pool and one pocket updates. I talked to
Hmm.
Patrick the other day.
Okay, so the easiest way for me to grasp it is that if someone fouls, they're gonna spot up a quarter to show that they owe a ball. But
Mhm.
the spot Sean Lewis owing or needing 6 is not gonna really we're not gonna see that. We're gonna just use his score going to 6. So yeah, here we go. 9 balls on the table. Marcello's even. He doesn't owe any. Sean has 1.
Mm-hmm.
So the score's good.
Sweet.
Do you like hitting this 4-ball cross corner to the top left? Is that one of the banks that's in your
Oh
wheelhouse?
yeah, I love that bank. I'll do that one from anywhere. Like anywhere in that back, like lower left quadrant of the table. If the cue ball's in there and there's a ball in that area that I can hit into that rail, it's going.
I feel like that's the one that you see people hit hard a lot of times.
Oh yeah, I hit
Just
that one hard.
smash it right into the rail.
Yep. All right.
Marcello electing to hit it a little bit softer, trying to finesse it in the pocket.
Yeah.
A little bit of a squeeze here. Does look like he has the full pocket to the lower right, but you still have like that 2-ball in your mind.
Mm-hmm. No, too wide.
Yeah, I wonder how much of that is when you're acknowledging that 2-ball's there, so you're saying I'm going to favor the right side of the pocket, and how that kind of transfers into hitting the ball a little bit wider than you thought you would.
Yeah.
I could see Marcello crossing this 4 up to the top right. Oh, I'm in my circles. Gosh darn it. I'm so bad about like which crayon I'm using is what I call it. Oh, interesting. I wonder if he's playing safe here. Yeah. Just kind of pushing the balls down table a little bit. I thought for sure he would have taken on that 4. Wonder if he's just worried about his cue ball. Not wanting to leave Sean down low if it's a low percentage bank.
Yeah.
We talked on the phone a little bit before his match, and Marcello was just talking about his strategy. And, he basically said he's just going to put every shot on the scale. And he has a certain number in his mind as far as how successful it is. And if it doesn't meet the mark, then he's just not going to play it.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sean's going for everything.
Yeah.
Like as much as he can. He said he's like, I'm gonna go for every single shot that I can.
It's interesting when you actually step up to the table and there's not a single bank available. So
Mm-hmm.
you're forced to play safe. You're like, I'm
Right.
trying to play aggressive, but there's just nothing there.
Right. I mean, here you could take the 4-ball. The 4-ball,
Yeah.
like that's how I would hit it, like that way. Yep.
Yeah, totally.
Whoop.
The only thing you have to worry about there is potentially your cue ball maybe coming off of the rail and then kind of like into the 2,
Yeah.
scratching there.
Yeah. I could see that. Close. Nice
Wow.
placement.
Plays a deep safe, leaving Sean on on the shelf. This is tricky in bank pool when you can't see the full cue ball. Most people don't practice banking with top. They usually play,
Mhm.
center or low ball. So when you're forced to play like that top quarter of the ball or top third of the cue ball, it's tough, especially from a long position.
Yeah.
So like you said before, I mean, he could potentially reverse the 3 up underneath him. I mean, that's
Mhm.
available, and he has that 4-ball
Forward
kind of as
cushion. Yeah.
a blocker. Yeah. Um, I think that falls under like that too low percentage of a category he was talking about. I could
Yeah.
easily I could easily see him playing safe, so just thinning off of the 3 here and then kind of coming up table,
Yeah.
like similar to the shot that Sean shot
Whoa.
before.
Spicy.
Yeah. But now the balls are opened up a little bit, and like
Yep.
you said, if Sean's strategy was to swing, I mean, he can definitely swing here.
Yep.
So looking at the 4-ball on the top
Mhm.
right, Didn't look like he played it with English. Looked like it was pretty just a natural center ball hit, like you were talking about earlier. Not super firm, but he didn't slow roll it.
Yeah.
Just kind of like that sweet spot speed. Looks like Marcello has a return on the 3 up in the
Hmm.
top left. You can see him
Yeah.
sighting out, making sure that he had room past the 7. From our vantage point, he does for sure. But I could see people still kind of double checking, making sure that it goes. I think this is where you get into the English play, because sometimes you want to hit the ball straighter into the rail and have the English open it up,
Hmm.
or you might want to cut the ball into the rail and have the English close the angle down, depending on if you're trying to maneuver around object
Hmm.
balls. So Marcello getting playing pretty conservative, which I like to see. So he elected just to make a ball, opens up that pocket, ball comes up on the spot, but he's really just trying to manage the cue ball there. So for those of you not familiar with bank pool, if you ever make a ball into a pocket, just like straight in, it's not the bank you call, or if it hits off of another ball, anything along those lines, it's
Or
not a
goes in
foul.
the wrong pocket.
Yeah, it just comes up in spots. So you can use that as defense to just spot a ball within the game and play your cue ball, knowing that object ball you made is going to spot up, and then the incoming player is going to shoot from wherever you left them. It does look like this 4 squeezes by the 6. It's tight,
Hmm.
but it goes. Sean does have the home field advantage here. This is the table you guys play on a regular.
Hmm.
How many times does Marcello come over?
Oh, he's come over here quite a bit. But I mean, lately, I think the last time he came over here was maybe a couple weeks ago, but or maybe a month ago. I don't know. He came over and they played banks, but they played even, and he
Yeah,
did not win.
good
My
speed
recollection.
there. Leaving his cue ball up table. I like that as opposed to down, just in case he missed. And Marcello is hosting the bank pool tournament at Ox Billiards this weekend, and you and Sean are both playing, right?
Yep. Yep.
Nice. Great to see another bank pool tournament on the 9s. The last one I went to was up at Clubhouse.
Okay. Yeah, the
And they,
last one I went to was at 15th, so it was on the sevens.
yeah, I meant the last 9-foot one I went to.
Yeah. I haven't played in one. I haven't even heard of them doing one, so that's cool that you got to go to one.
It was cool. I mean, Clubhouse was, for what it was a sweet spot. I mean,
Oh
hard to
yeah, I
beat.
used to. I would sneak in there during COVID and play one pocket with my buddy Mark on Saturdays.
Is that Mark Goodwin or a different Mark?
No, his name is Mark Martinez. He lives on Vashon. We've been playing pool together for like a decade now.
Gotcha. Great speed there. Hit the
Hmm.
facing, but it still fell in. So kind of like that drop English or drop speed. Marcello looking to just replicate. Very similar shot here. I think a lot of players will, on this particular shot, they're going to look at the angle coming into the pocket to try and play the biggest pocket possible. So
Hmm.
knowing that when they're coming into their first rail, deciding, okay, I'm going to hit that ball and I'm going to have it open up with the English to try and
Hmm.
connect into that line, as opposed to hitting it, more something where it's going to come in a lot sharper of an angle.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I mean, you can make the bank both ways. It's just a matter of preference of what's going to give you the most accuracy.
All
So
right. Sean.
Sean's starting to dial in for sure. Looks like this 9 ball does go
Yep.
cross side. Could potentially play at 2 rails. Yeah, 2 rails cross side. Trying to control his cue ball a little bit more.
Hmm.
So we're going to potentially see him come almost all the way up to the original side he played and then have it just go straight across.
Oof.
Almost. So yeah, he just needed to hit it a hair farther towards the original side pocket.
I can't really tell if it would have hit the rail or not, but
I think it would have probably hit the point.
yeah, and gone in maybe. Yeah.
I think he was hitting it softer because he wanted it to open it up. He took more of like a Z approach
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to like a 7 shape.
Yeah.
So hitting it a little bit softer, knowing that it was going to open up. But unfortunately, you always want to make sure that you hit the ball hard enough to give yourself a chance for the shot that you called, or
Yeah.
else you're basically just playing kind of like a false safe in a way.
Yeah. All right. So
Looks like he might have enough of this rail, like we talked about earlier. You're saying if it would have hit the rail or if it would have gone in.
mm-hmm.
We're gonna find out right now if he plays cross side.
Yeah.
Looks like he's playing 2 rails underneath him, potentially like the 1 pocket bank, just past the 2.
There
Oh
it
no,
is.
that's the
Single
answer to that question.
yeah.
Great shot.
3 ball side pocket.
And this one he's gonna cross, right? He's not gonna try and hold this up.
No, he's gonna cross it in the side on the face. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh snap! Didn't quite get it. Like
I
I
know it
can
can be
see this going to the side for the 2 ball for Marcello. The only thing you got to worry about is the scratch, though.
Yeah, I like that shot because he's able to contain his cue ball down low here.
Mm-hmm.
So if he does miss, hopefully he's gonna be leaving Sean right on the rail.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere kind of like in this area.
Mm-hmm. Looks like he called the side pocket.
I wonder what Marcello's listening to. Do you know what kind of music he likes?
I know he listens to some electronic music, I think, but I know he doesn't like to go to festivals. He'd much rather, he doesn't like crowds. He'd much
Gotcha.
rather go, like, backpacking in the woods somewhere.
That's understandable. What about you? When you and Sean are playing, do you guys jam out? Which
Yeah, we have music on in the garage. We've got a speaker in there. Just hook it up to the phone, Bluetooth.
beautiful touch.
Yeah.
Me, I tend to cross this 3 ball to the top right just because that I feel gives me the highest percentage to make. But I think a lot of people do play this 3 rails, yeah, which he just called down in the
Hmm.
corner. I can't even draw. Just because that way they're able to leave their cue ball up there on like the head rail.
Yeah.
When I first started playing this game, I decided I was like, I just want to try and I want to give myself the best chance to make the bank I'm calling.
Yeah.
And I didn't worry about shape as much. I wasn't trying to run multiple balls and sit there and say, oh, if I play it this way, it leads into that one. Whereas if I play it this way, it might be a dead end. I was just looking
Mhm.
at it straight up as which one is the easiest ball for me to make. And
Mhm.
that's how I played for years. And then once you start running into those dead end runs where you're only running 1 ball or 2 balls, I feel like then you really kind of open your eyes to saying, okay, of the choices I have on the table, shot selection wise,
Mhm.
which one can lead to the bigger run? But
Mhm.
then that brings in kind of like the 1 pocket where maybe the shot that leads into the bigger run also sells out if you don't make it. So then you're kind of like, okay, I'm I'm playing the bank which leads into shape on the next ball, but if I don't cinch that original bank, I'm basically just playing shape for my opponent. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like that, two-edged sword.
Yeah.
This little pack of 3 balls is precarious. It looks like Sean might have a opening on the 8 ball right as it sits, playing the lower right,
Yeah.
which would
Looks like he's gonna go for it.
might lead to a breakout on the 5.
Ooh,
Oh,
safe.
interesting. That little double kind of threw off his plan.
Mm-hmm.
I could see.
I think
Yeah, I
you
mean,
could hit the 8 in if you wanted. You
yeah.
could
You
either
think
cross it, like cross it on the short side that way. Yep.
he has that
Or
one,
or
or he
he
could
could do it the other way. Yep. Long table to that top right corner. Oh,
play
to the
to the
side.
side.
Yeah.
He could cross it like you said, like come across the ball to open it up, and then play it down into the corner like that one.
Mhm.
He's got a lot.
Yeah. I mean,
I
even
think
the
he was.
one he could do, but it looks like he's lining up on the 8. So,
Yeah. I think for me, I like the one ball just
yeah.
because I would probably play the one in the side underneath him.
Whoa.
He played the 8 ball 2 rails.
Got it.
That came out pretty nice. I feel like Sean could potentially open up the 8 ball to the bottom right here, but
Hmm.
that's asking a lot. Might just be opening these balls and kind of bringing the cue ball. Oh, I thought he was gonna bring the cue ball to the foot rail there.
Well, the good thing is here, I think the 5 blocks the pathway of the 1 to go single
I don't,
rail, but he might be
I don't,
doing a 2 railer here. I don't know.
I don't think so. I think the one goes all day.
Does it?
Yeah,
I
when you
can't
look
really
at the,
tell. Oh, yeah. You're right.
but this is that shot he passed a little bit earlier where he was jacked up
Look at
and
that.
close.
Right on your line. Oh, it hit the rail. Dang.
Yeah. So now we're seeing cross side on the 5, right?
I'd imagine so. Yeah. Coming across the face of it.
And where we sit, Marcello needs 2 and Sean needs 3, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I feel like I'm finally grasping this score. Usually when I play bank pool, if I'm traveling, I like to use coins on the table
Yeah.
because I don't want to bend over and put the balls on like down by like the leg because I feel like they could get kicked. I can't really see the score that way, and I just want to save my back. But a
Yeah.
lot of people when I travel, when I get out the coins, they're looking at me and they're just like, "What the heck are we doing here?" I'm like, "Well, I'm trying to save my back. I'm an old man." So
Yeah.
I've had to teach
I'm
a few
grateful
people
for the
about
ball
playing.
rack in the Gold Crown 3 personally. I do like having that. It's a handy feature.
Oh yeah, and then now all these people that are coming out, like Kobe Pilgrim, he made his like ball racks that like a lot of times will like bolt onto the legs of like a diamond or a different table, and then you
Uh-huh.
can put the balls down there, which is cool.
Yeah, my buddy, he took one of those like ball racks that you would like a ball tray and he like
Hmm.
cut it in half and then he like bolted each half onto 2 different sides
Exactly.
of his diamond table.
That's
So,
essentially what the that's essentially like the design of most of those, and they're great because they keep your balls off of the floor, so they're not going to get like carpet particles or chipped up or kicked around the room or lost. And also, you
mhm,
don't have to put out the ball box. A lot of places will like put out the ball box, but there's a chance that, the box can get stolen or the extra balls, just more
mhm.
stuff to have to manage.
Looks like Marcello's last ball here, the 8.
Yeah. So are we going to see the 8 to the bottom right?
Yeah, I think that's what he's going for here.
Something like this. And when you hit that ball, are you once again you're not playing this with English. You're just
This one I
choosing the
play
cut.
with English. I will say that. I do play with English this one. I usually use inside or bottom inside, and I come across the front of it, and then it'll cross it really nicely when it comes off of the ball. Yeah.
To try and beat the kiss, right?
Exactly.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's amazing. If you don't play those with English, sometimes the kiss is just on. And then if you put that little bit of English on there, you can beat that kiss, or vice versa. If the angle that how it's lying, if you played it with English, you're gonna kiss. Whereas if you just played the natural, you'll beat it. So
Hmm.
kind of knowing what that path is coming off the original object ball and then into the rail is so crucial.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm surprised Sean's not crossing this one, the 8 ball. Look at this. What a shot.
Good shot. Oh no. But he did block the pocket for Marcello to get the straight rail, like the straight back bank. But he could also just go, that way. Well, more that way kind of thing.
I love that two-railer.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to try and hit the replay button. Okay, so this is what we talked about a little bit earlier as far as whether
All right.
Marcello's going to just get in the one-on-one battle with Sean over the 8-ball, knowing that he only
Mm-hmm.
needs 1 ball to win,
Right.
or whether he's going to pocket that one, bring it into play, and force Sean to be guarding against both available balls.
Yeah.
I could see that if Sean doesn't make this 8, I could easily see Marcello making the 1 and trying to hook Sean on the point, because that's, one way to kind of force the incoming player that needs both balls.
Mm-hmm.
So the 1, just leave him deep in the jaws, but the 8 came up on that natural kind of slam bank like you were talking about earlier, that
Yeah.
one railer.
Mm-hmm.
See so many players just rifle this ball in
Mm-hmm.
straight through the uprights. All right, Sean, cover your eye.
Nope.
Ooh, he hit that so
Was he
short.
going? He wasn't. Yeah, I was like, he wasn't going for the two railer, was he? I didn't think he was.
No, I
Oh, but
think
then he got the spot shot. Marcello.
So now the other way Sean could do is that Sean could make the 1 up here, and then he knows that the 1's going to spot behind the 3, and he gets both balls into play because he knows he needs both balls to win.
Mm-hmm.
And chances are Marcello's not going to pick off that back ball of a 2-ball spot.
Looks like
Okay.
they're trading it.
Yeah. If Marcello doesn't make the 1 here, I'd be really surprised.
He could cross corner that 3 in the bottom left there too, if he's going for it.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Well, he could just reverse the 3 right underneath him also.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of leaves the cue ball naturally
Oh
on the
yeah,
foot
there
rail.
he goes. It's going for the corner. I got it. Looks like
Drills it. So takes game
Marcello's
2.
This is game 2. So Marcello's got 2 and Sean has 0.
So one thing we're seeing tonight is that Sean hasn't beat the spot yet. Because if there was only 1 ball available on the table, then we know that the spot came into play.
Mm-hmm.
But so far, I think the deepest we've seen was 2 balls available on the table, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So what that's saying to me is that if they don't potentially change something, that the wait so far has been too much. That the game isn't good.
Yeah, I mean, they played even last time and Marcello got destroyed.
Yeah, so what we're seeing.
So that's why I think that they decided to do it this way. You know what I mean? So, and the way I look at it is like, you're definitely a different player every day.
Absolutely. I'm not saying that Sean can't win this game by any
Of
means.
course.
I'm just saying, like, if I was Marcello and they played the first time and he got destroyed, to say, okay, well, we can't play even again. And then so Sean says, okay, well, when you come over this time, I'll break bread. I'll go to 6, you go to 5. And if Sean can't beat that spot, then you need to find something kind of in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So whether Sean goes to 5 and Marcello goes to 4, I think would be actually a better game for Marcello as opposed to 5-6. Whether they alternated and they said, okay, we'll play even 1 game and then Sean plays a 6 the next game. There's different ways of exploring the spot, but
yeah, for sure.
So 1 on the break coming up. It looks like Marcello's going to have a nice opening shot on the 3 here.
Yeah. Yeah, the spot's an interesting thing as a general matter. Like I went out and I was working actually at Nike for a while. They were my clients, so I'd be going down to Beaverton. So I go to Legends all the time, and just shoot racks by myself down on the 9-footers at the end. And this guy, was like, "Oh, you want to play one pocket?" So we played one pocket, and he destroyed me. I mean, it was like, we were playing even. It was like 8-2. He beat me.
Hmm.
And then he's like, "Okay, I'll spot you," and he gave me whatever it was.
So he offered weight, you didn't ask.
No, I didn't ask. He offered weight on the next game, right? And he was gonna give me, I can't remember. It was like uh 12-4, I think, is what he
Hmm.
offered for the next game. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And then I ran 4 balls on him in the next game in one pocket, and then I beat him 8-2. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
spots are an interesting thing.
I think even more than the handicap, like you mentioned before, it's all about how someone's playing that shot, that game, that set, that day. You could you could be having the night of your life and not need a spot, and the next day you come over and you can't make a ball.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it I think comes down to your mindset, right? It's like, can you remain calm? So, really, I feel like that's my number one goal always, is to stay calm. Because you don't play your best pool when you're nervous. You don't play your best pool when you're upset. You only play your best pool when you're chilling, and you're having a good time. So I try my best to stay there, but you can't always stay there sometimes. The body likes to react sometimes
Absolutely.
uncontrollably, but I feel like mindset is really what it comes down to, and if you can't escape the mindset, it's hard.
Yeah, I mean, so currently, I like what you're saying about just staying true to your game. I mean, if Sean worries about the score, that's not going to do him any good. He just needs to find his rhythm and win the next three
Exactly.
games. And that all starts making a ball and making another one. I mean, essentially, bank pool is a very basic game. It's the first person to make 5 banks wins. Or in this situation, Marcello makes 5 and Sean makes 6.
Hmm.
But other than that, I mean, yeah, there's nuances to the strategy and, there's all the different banks that come about. But when you really think about it, you just want to make 5 banks and not scratch.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, and I've definitely scratched my fair share, trust. I will say lately, I think my strategy has turned into trying to live in the moment and really live in the feeling of
Right.
actually experiencing the shot, experiencing everything, instead of like trying to narrate what I'm going to do in my head, or narrate, and like talk about what you're doing. Cause, like when you're aiming a shot, in your head, you're kind of narrating it. At least some people are. I mean, I do, I guess, where you're like, oh, I'm going to hit this into this rail and it's going to go into this pocket. And instead of just like take the words out and just feel and be there and do the thing. And I ran like 4 balls in a row the other day, like twice. And it was amazing, or like I ran two more, you know, I've run three and out. It's a fun time.
It feels amazing. Have you broken ran a full rack yet?
I've done 5 in a row, but I was at -1. That was
Okay.
brutal, but I have it on video and it's on our YouTube channel.
When I get some time, I'll have to check it out.
Oh yeah.
My
Yeah, I was
good
playing
friends.
9 ball with a friend of mine and I ended up banking 4 balls in a row because I was in a bad spot.
Wow. So he's trying to play this by the one on this side here.
I
So
think it
going
goes.
going back to those English shots, he really needs to. Yeah, what a great line.
Yeah.
That balance of cut and spin.
Mm-hmm.
So Marcello 2 balls away from getting this potential first set.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has this 6 ball. He's just got to shorten it up. So he's just got to kind of come here, or he could potentially be looking at the cross on the 7.
Yeah, it seems like he's going for the 7.
I think a lot of people, when they look at banks, they're actually looking at kind of. Did you see how the lines were coming off of the rail, the first rail they're going into?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas other people, when they're looking at banks, they're actually looking at like say the line going into the object ball.
Mm.
And to me, those are two different things.
I look at everything. I look at everything. The line going to the pocket, coming off the rail, going into the ball from the cue ball. I look at all of it.
Yeah. I feel like if I'm going to just say shoot straight into the object ball,
Mm-hmm.
then to me that's more like a normal shot and pool, like a cut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whereas if I was looking at breaking it down into like two ways, like I'm going to hit into the object ball, which is then going to go into the rail and come off on this line, it's almost like in my mind like I'm playing like a combination.
Interesting.
I don't know if that makes any sense.
Ooh, fired that one in.
Yeah, great shot. Played a good rock up to the head rail just in case. This one's a little tricky here.
The
I
one
don't
he could cut back, I think, and bank it long table to the top left. Yeah.
Yeah. You could potentially play two rails on the 9 up to the top right, or two
True.
rails on the 2 up to the top right.
Yeah.
Both of those are kind of hard though. I mean, look, he is jacked up. He doesn't have the full cue ball, I don't think. Not naturally without elevating at least. He could potentially play the 1 like you were saying earlier, the backdoor 3-railer. That one. Obviously that line is garbage, but so he's gonna sneak this by the 6, it looks like, and he's playing the top right. Ooh, just a hair long. Looks like Vic dropped, or she'll probably be coming back in here soon. You'll have to bear with me on my own here. Marcello needing 2 balls to win the 3rd game in this first set.
Whoops.
Vic just jumping back in now.
Yeah, my whole screen froze. I was like, what is going on? I could see you drawing, but I couldn't hear you at all. It's weird.
Looks like he's just calling just one rail on the 1 here. I think he does have a cross on the 5 to the top left. He also has a cross on the 6 to the bottom left. But he's playing the ball that's out in space. He has to decide if he's going to cross this ball or if he's just going to shorten up. And by I mean cross, I mean that he would be playing across the face of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So he elected to try and shorten that angle up and just hit full into the face with a right hand spin inside English. Sean's looking pretty good here. I could see him making 3 balls.
Yeah.
1 ball, 5 balls, 6 ball. I think I'm trying to hit more of like a stop on the 1, maybe kind of bring it over just a hair to be able to play the 5. Oh, I didn't see him signify 2 rails. I think he just came up short.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
I mean, this 6 goes underneath Marcello past that 5, but talk about tight. I think he padded the pocket that he's bridging on right now.
Okay.
I don't see a lot of future in this shot. Yeah, he was asking for a lot there.
Well, that shot is makeable. I think the one thing you can't really do with that shot is put English on it. I really don't. The backward bank shot without English goes so much better. Like, I feel like the cue ball does weird things and does like to the other ball if you try to put English on it. All right, in there.
Yeah, that did not look like a full pocket. I think he only had about 90% of that.
Yeah, agree. It looks like
And you
the
said,
line is kind of sticking out a little bit past the point there.
yeah, we could easily see a safe here. I could see him trying to control the rock and just leave Marcello down, kind of hooked on the back of the 2-ish, or maybe he could even bump the 2 and leave Marcello more kind of like stuck on the back of the 9.
Yeah.
Sean does need these balls to get into play, so anything he can do to kind of like hold Marcello but start developing the table to allow him to run out. It's hard to tell how much of this top left pocket we have, but I do believe he called the 5 just on top of the 1. Yeah, that might have been a big ask.
Mm-hmm.
This is similar to that cross side that Sean played earlier that was super, super thin, remember?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
mean, it literally just went like straight across.
Yep.
He also potentially has a 3 railer on the 2.
I think he called the side pocket.
Yeah,
But
I think
yeah.
he patted it right away.
Oh, dang it.
Ooh, kind of a worst case scenario. Ball comes up. Looks like that 5-1 is a little bit tied up. They might still go, but it kind of closed down a certain amount of shots on that.
Mm-hmm.
And Marcello only needs 2 to win. So
Yep.
I could see him just trying to kind of squat that rock here, and then he has the 9 ball either cross corner or cross side. He's just got to make this 4. Looked like he let up on it a little bit there. I was
Yeah.
looking for more of like a firmer stroke. So Sean could either try and cross this to the lower left. Yeah. I see a lot of players that will also play this, like you mentioned earlier, something 3 rails in the side, because then they're able to follow through the 9 ball and leave their cue ball on the foot rail, or about here. This is what I
Ooh.
was worried about. That 5-1 is tied up, but I believe that
The
1 goes,
one can be hit. Yeah.
yeah, just right underneath in that top right. Marcello might be avoiding that potentially if he just kind of wants to leave those balls tied up. Once again, it's like a safety valve. For me, that's a shot that comes up in one pocket all the time. I mean, I can't ask for much more than that just because I'm looking at that back bank. I like to back bank that ball
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to being straight on.
Yeah.
I feel like it makes that shot a little bit more forgiving.
Mm-hmm. For
So
sure.
he could either be looking at potentially crossing the, oh geez, I'm so bad.
The 4 ball.
Yeah.
Trying to put it in down with those balls, make it a little bit hairy, but I think he kind of opened up that 1 for a straight back.
Yeah, depends how.
Sean's gonna go for the cross corner on the 9. Looks like.
I think the 1 is makeable down here in the bottom
Yeah,
left,
that's what I would go for.
as long as Sean gets his cue ball kind of back into like
Hmm.
close to the rail. All right. So essentially now Marcello knows that they're in this kind of one-on-one battle on the 9 ball here, and as long as they can avoid this spot, the 1 doesn't really go. The 5's available, but they'd have to have a pretty good line on the 5 to make it.
Hmm.
You'd be looking at the 5 coming off, something like this. I don't think many people want to take that on unless they have their cue ball kind of over in like, this area, something like this. What do you think you're doing here?
I I don't know. I mean, I might try to cross bank it in the corner.
Yeah, I could see that. I think I'm getting real conservative. I'm just gonna thin off the 5, and
Hmm.
I'm gonna try and put Sean on the back of that 1.
Hmm.
And hopefully that 5 would come down and fall into
Ooh,
that
spicy.
1, that lane for the 1. So you're doing 2 things at once. You're
Mm.
playing safe, but you're also closing down that lane, which would be once again kind of creating a safety valve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm also in the like just go for it camp also. That's me. Like I'm like less of a safety player, but yeah, that's probably, it's probably a better idea than just going for it all the time.
So I think Sean called the lower left on the one ball here. And would he be using that same strategy that you talked about earlier, where you're just trying to beat the kiss?
Yeah, that's what I would think. I would come off the face of it because
Um,
that's a tight angle there, especially from where he's at. But with inside, it crosses it real nice off the rail, goes kind of around it. But I'm not sure if he's going to, with the four ball there, if that's going to inhibit his ability to miss well, I guess he's just going to make the four.
yeah, that was a nice shot. I feel like he didn't give Marcello a ton of options. It does look like the five,
Goes to the corner. Yeah.
yeah. But once again, he's kind of in like that jacked up, doesn't have the full cue ball, close proximity to his object ball.
Yeah.
We saw him pass on this similar shot, and then we saw him execute and make this shot. So he could also potentially just play full in the face of the one soft and leave Sean just right on the back of the five. I mean,
Yeah.
at this point in time, I mean, we know that both of these players play one pocket. So
Mm-hmm.
that right there, I don't think that's a super difficult shot. The most difficult part of that shot is seeing it at, because you're in the mindset of playing bank pool. You're sitting there saying, I'm trying to run up banks. I'm trying to make these balls. And
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like you're playing like a mental like red light, green light,
Mm-hmm.
which can, can be hard for momentum. Oh, so yeah, that's the shot I was looking at Marcello to swing at potentially earlier.
Mm-hmm.
One ball, top left.
Mm-hmm.
Getting back into more of like these natural banks here. These are tough for me because if you noticed, he didn't walk over and see how far the one is off the rail. He's just
Mm-hmm.
judging it or remembers it from a prior shot. But there's a big difference between that ball being, say, 3 inches off the rail and an inch and a half.
Agree.
Especially if you're spinning the bank. You said that you tend to play more center balls. I don't think it comes into play as much.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're gonna spin a bank, the amount of distance between the actual original collision with the object ball and the rail makes a huge difference in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
and we've seen Sean taking over a lot more crosses. But yeah, he's calling the cross on the one as opposed to straight back on the four. I
Mm-hmm.
like that because he's naturally moving his cue ball up table and it leads into secondary shots. Great,
Goes
great.
in.
Yeah, great
Nine ball
speed
sets up
there.
form. Yeah,
So
and three
now, yep,
rails. That's what I would say. That's like almost super like natural. The three
yeah,
railer.
I feel like I learned the three railer by hitting the one railer long and
Mm-hmm.
then just fluking it in. So
Mm-hmm.
anytime I step up to a one railer and I'm like, oh, that's just gonna go, a diamond long. You might
Mm-hmm.
as well just add a little bit more to that and play the three in the side.
I think the four ball squeaks by this nine ball. Possibly. I think you can get it.
Yeah, the problem I see with that is that since you're playing so close to that nine, I feel like a lot of players are gonna throw that wide and they're gonna
Mm-hmm.
hit somewhere kind of like in this line.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if it were me, I'm probably crossing the nine
Mm-hmm.
underneath the 4 or 5, just because then I feel like my cue ball is once again just naturally going to kind of come back up table in
Mm-hmm.
case I miss. And I don't mind taking, if I make it, I don't mind taking a long shot on the four because now I know I need one and Sean still needs two.
Right.
You could also reverse this four underneath here. That's available.
Mm-hmm.
He's just going to cinch this. So he's playing this real tight, or he's playing all cue ball and coming up to the head rail.
Oof. All right.
Well, he got fortunate there that 5-9 kind of closed
Mhm.
down. And we'll have an opening shot on the one ball on the spot, but not a ton of options with the other balls. So, are you going to see him cross this?
I think he called it to the back corner up top right,
Okay.
but I could be wrong. I thought I saw him tap the pocket.
I was looking pretty good until the double kiss happened.
Yeah, looks like the one goes here.
Yeah,
Easy.
this might be all she wrote. I think that this
Mhm.
one ball cross side leads into a natural shot on the 5 or the 9, kind of a two-way.
Mhm.
So Marcello just has to bear down and cinch this ball. Nice and smooth, great shot. And naturally, yeah, he has a cross on the 9, cross side, same pocket, or he could play it to either top right pocket with his 5 ball.
Mhm.
I think I'm electing to play cross on the 9. What about you?
Yeah, that's what I would go for here.
Gotcha.
I just feel like it's more standard, of a bank.
Yeah, he just has to make sure that he keeps an eye on this line.
Yeah.
We don't want him to play just like a natural and let up on the ball. I feel
Mhm.
like he either needs to beat the scratch with English. Yeah, and he tried to
Ooh.
pull on. So he, I believe, played that with outside, pulling his cue ball actually kind of off of the scratch line, more like this.
Mhm.
But then you're like introducing a new variable to the shot. So
Sean's got a straight back.
yeah, this is tough. Sean needs 2 to get on the board. He's pretty much frozen on the foot rail, and Marcello is up 2 games to 0 in a race to 3 and only needs 1 ball left. So I don't think Sean's really sweating it, but obviously he wants to get on the board and continue
Mm,
this race.
he scratched.
Yeah, kind of a worst case scenario there. So now Sean needing all 3 balls on the table, and Marcello with ball in kitchen. The 9 ball is not an eligible ball because it's in the kitchen itself, but he has a good look on both the 5 and the 1. I see a lot of players, they'll take this 5 and they're gonna play with a lot of draw because they're really trying to just hit like a perfect triangle of an angle.
Mhm.
I usually just try and play center ball on these, like you were talking about earlier, and just
Mhm.
minimize any type of miscue or unwanted like side English.
Right. I feel like it helps me a lot to control the ball.
Yeah. I see a lot of players actually what they'll do is they'll pass on the 5 and they'll shoot the 1 because they don't necessarily practice shooting this 5 ball, whereas most bank pool players practice shooting the spot shot.
You got
So
it.
nice game there, Marcello. Wins 3-0. I wish I could stick around with you a little bit longer, Vic, in case they play a second set, but I made a commitment to go play some one pocket myself.
All good. I totally understand.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity. And it was really nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice
I
meeting
look
you.
I look forward to seeing you on the table and playing some banks. I'll
Yeah,
definitely get a hold of you and Sean next time I'm up in your area, and hopefully by then you guys have your pool room going.
I know, right?
Well, for all of you that were tuning in, it was a pleasure. Once again, my name is Joel Peck, and this was Easy Street Billiards. Appreciate the
Yeah,
time, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks again for EvoSports for allowing us to stream on this awesome setup, and I'll talk to you guys later.
yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Joel. Yeah, and I think they said that they might play a second set. I'm not sure what the consensus is on that. I'll try to find out real quick if you guys want to hang out. If not, I get it. But yeah. So let me see what I can find out. All right. I think maybe they might be calling it. It looks like. So I don't know if we're gonna do an interview. We'll see if they come in. If they do, then I'll go ahead and do a little quick interview for both of them. Let me see. Yep.
Where are you at?
I'm back here.
Hi,
You gonna come in for the post-game debrief?
Yeah, sure.
We got like 8 people watching. So Marcello's in here. You can go ahead and have a seat there if you want. Hey, sit down. Baboose, my dog.
Was your
Chill
back?
out. Huh?
Was your back?
Yeah, he was. He just signed off actually. He like literally he's going to play one pocket.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, tell us how you feel. How was the game? How do you feel going into it?
Sean is a great player. Sometimes he just runs me over, so I really didn't have any expectations.
Okay.
The first game I felt really jittery, but then once I settled in, I was pretty comfortable. Feel like most of the time I was making the right decision, and then sometimes I would just get a little caught up in just wanting to shoot, and taking some shots I shouldn't have taken.
Yeah.
Where could have managed the score a little bit better. Lucky I kind of caught Sean on an off night. He was missing some shots that he'd probably make 9 times out of 10, and I just caught the one time he was missing them. So
all right. So what's next?
Gonna keep practicing for a Banks tournament. I really like this game, and I'm excited about it. And I'm excited to play on
I'll be in there with you too.
Yeah.
Me and Sean, and who else is playing? Any other big anybody else that's you're excited to see?
No one as scary as you, Vic.
Whatever, dude. I know Daniel is Daniel playing in it? Yeah.
Daniel, James, Chad Raswick,
All
Tommy
heavy hitters.
Aiken.
Oh, yeah.
And there are several good players. And also with Banks, you never really know, because some people just specialize in that game and are really good at it, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see.
All right. Sounds good. Any other money matches you think coming up for Banks, or any other games that you're trying to play?
I'm really busy with work the rest of the week, so I'm just gonna take it easy and probably until the tournament.
Okay.
I'm just gonna practice. Maybe if I can find something during the day on Friday, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But whenever you get in a match, it's hard to just leave, So I don't want to be up late the night before the tournament. So
yeah, that makes sense. All right.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming by. We appreciate you coming in and showing your stuff.
All right.
All right. I need to send Sean in here, I guess, if he's around. All right, we got Sean coming in, I think. For everybody who's still hanging on and watching. Thanks, guys. All right.
Sorry.
All good.
What's up?
Come on in. How you feeling? How was the game? What do you think, what are your insights from your match tonight?
He played better than me. I think that the longer it goes, the better I play, but wasn't a big fan of giving a spot to a guy that professes to be a bank pool player that's trying to propel that game forward. But the last time we played, I beat him well enough to where it made sense to do that. But he plays good. I never expected to beat him the first time we played because I don't really play the game the way he likes to play it, which is more tight. And if I wanted to play that way, I think that my preference would be to play for a lot more money in longer races, so that I feel like the amount of energy that he expends while playing is highly, about basically when he runs out of energy or he gets tired is when he starts making mistakes, and that's after more hours than 1 hour, and then 5 minutes after you got to practice for 45 minutes straight, 30 minutes straight. So But I could have played better, but I didn't. You know, I missed a couple shots that I felt like I could have made. Played the speed wrong. Maybe I would have won if I would have made those. Felt like the last two games, every time he went for it that he didn't get there, it kind of turned out for him, and I sold out quite a few of those situations more than he did. So I'm not trying to say that the luck was a factor, but he definitely said that the luck was a factor when we were playing. So maybe that was part of it, but I still didn't get, I don't think, to the hill. So it wouldn't have mattered. I guess if we would have played even, he would have beaten me anyway. So there's that.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody that watched. Hope you all learned something, had a good time.
Yeah. All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in and checking us out. We got more live streams coming up. We got a t-shirt giveaway going on right now. Like the post, share the post, comment ESB on the post, and make sure you follow us to be entered into the giveaway. And then we will be announcing the winner during the stream on January 31st, which we will be doing during the Aaron Rodgers Brett Miller match. And then I think our next live stream that we have scheduled at the current moment is next week, Monday, I believe, MLK Day. We're going to be here with Shu Chang Chow and Bo Bologna in a race to 15 for 10 ball. So again, thank you everybody for swinging through and checking us out. And I will see you guys later. Have a great rest of your night. Bye. Where's my ebook?